Oh, thank you.
So when
Sorry about that.
When you reduce the speed, Don, does it affect the quality of the cut?
No, it does not.
No.
No, the rotor bit with the half-inch shank is by far superior. Very little vibration. Yes?
Isn't the reason for reducing speed is to stop burn on end grain and things like that?
Could be, yes, yeah. Same thing.
What about the bits? Like you see, Freud has probably the market on it, or considered one of the best. But do you have any preferences on the bits? And
I love their bits. I really do. And one of the best bits they make is one that I use all the time. And the gentleman was asking me their question back there earlier tonight. And this is a Freud 3/8 inch spiral bit. And that will cut like crazy.
Up or down?
Up. This is an up.
So under what circumstances do you pick it up as opposed to down?
Well, where you want the dust and the debris to come up.
Yeah.
well, there'd be a table versus nothing.
That's a table, yeah. Yes, John?
Don, how much would you pay for that bid?
That bit was $55.15 at our friendly lumber supplier, and they gave us a discount. Peacock.
Now, are you buying, I guess that's high end.
I would say that's, yeah. No, there's probably others. Like a half inch would probably run you $80 or $90.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But if you want to get nice work out of it and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You got to pay the money for the bits. Huh?
Absolutely, yeah.
We actually had Freud come in last year, I think, and some of the innovations they were talking about, the cutter heads now, they're actually putting 4 separate
Oh, yeah.
areas on the surface to cut the wood, which gives you a much cleaner look. It's beautifully done. We'll try and get Freud in for the new year, John, but I tell you, they are truly the top of the line.
That one has got 2 flutes on it. If you go to forward, it's amazing what it will do.
What is that bit used for then? You're only going to make a channel with it, are you?
Yes, you could do a lot of things. One of the things I've done with it is make round tabletops with a jig, and then
Cutting it around?
around, yeah. A perfect circle.
So it would give you a better straight cut than a straight cut bit?
Oh yes, and a lot easier on the rubber.
But what depth would you be maximum going with that to get the straight cut?
Well, I would go an inch.
What would you?
Yeah.
So do you do stages?
Oh, I would. Yeah, you wouldn't go an inch. Yeah, but it's surprising how much you can do with that.
The fellow in the video said that there was only 2 sizes, but there's really 3. You said that was a 3/8, correct?
No. He was talking about collets.
The shank, yeah.
No. He was talking about the collets in the rubber.
There's only 2 sizes in shanks.
Yeah.
The half-inch shank with a 3/8 bit?
Yeah.
But you can get a 3/8 inch shank, can you not?
No.
They use it.
You might be able to, but they're not really in very much circulation.
I have a rubber that has all 3 colors. That's all.
Yeah. See, that's a half inch, and with that, when I go to a quarter, I put an insert in,
Yes.
and you'll notice hard to see from over there.
Just put it down.
But there's 3 distinct breaks in that collet, and one of them is right through. The other 2 are not. And this insert goes in, and it has the same 3 cuts, and you need to line them up so that the one that goes all the way through matches the one that goes all the way through on the other. Mr. Maple Leaf.
Yay! Don, what do you recommend when buying rubber bits? Buy a kit or buy what you need individually?
You mean by the router itself?
The rubber bits.
The router bits.
If you can get like 12 or 18 in a box, or
Well, it depends on what you want to do with it. They're great, you know, for lots of different things. They're usually high-speed steel, whereas if you go up, you get carbide tipped, or the one that was here. Where'd it go? Over here. Oh, it's on the other side, isn't it?
On this one, or do you want that?
Yeah. This one is solid carbide. And that's why the price.
Don, when doing a square crop, like on the video, when you do the crop, you do the edges and you're doing the right angle.
Yep.
I often get a divot. What is likely the cause of that, or how can I avoid getting that divot on that piece?
You mean a
Terra?
Terra?
Yeah. Is it speed?
It's intended for you to get it. Of course. The way you do the piece is, of course, you have four sides, and let's say these are the ends, and these are the long. You start off, and you go across the end, and you will get. You should slow down a little bit as you get to the end. You will get a little bit of tear. But then you start up this side, and immediately that tear is gone. And it comes out clean here. You get a little tear out there, and then you go down that way. You got a perfect square.
the end grain.
Beg your pardon?
The end grain.
The end grain, yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people think that they should do the side grain first, but you're going to end up with tear. Way back there. Gord.
Right, Don, like all bits or like all cutting edges, they do get dull. Do you sharpen your own or do you take them somewhere?
I would take them somewhere.
Do you have a place to recommend?
The last time I took one was in to M&L, is it M&L? In Pickering.
Markham Industrial?
No, they don't sharpen. Or have you gone to sharpen there?
They're on the same street as Busy Bee.
On Salt Road?
On Salt Road.
Okay.
Now, you have to be careful when you're doing sharpening on bits, because you may be changing the dimensions of the cut. And but for straight, flat ones, there's no problem in sharpening. Where have you been? I've missed you all.
I've been working all summer.
I haven't seen any burnt wood for a
When you're moving that, you go right to left or left to right? As to how the motor's turning.
Well, the wood goes into the bit.
Okay.
The bit is turning, if you have it in the router, it's turning clockwise.
Okay.
When you put it in a table, turn it upside down, it's counterclockwise.
I don't use a table. I haven't even figured that part out yet. Because I can't find a table. Actually, I can't find a table that I'm looking for. Because I want to be able to have the rotor on the top fixed, so like you just invert your table, so you can see what you're doing along the top edge or the top centerpiece.
I understand.
I don't think I've ever seen a table that way.
I can't find one. So if you're doing a flat piece and you want to mark along the top, freehand sometimes gets a little bit difficult. I'm finding.
Yeah.
I just wish I had a table so you could suspend it, drop the table down to your cutting edge if you want. Then you can
You're talking about CNC machines, right?
Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking maybe you may end up having to do, but who's got 10 grand.
Jerry,
What
to
you
your,
could do, though, you could make a pattern out of MDF or whatever, and use that as a guide.
That's what Mike was talking about in his piece. He used a pattern,
Yeah.
and he put the pattern on the board, and then cut around it with the router.
Yeah.
And that's how we got that groove in that butt cutting board that he did.
but Jerry, to your question on direction of the cutter,
Yeah.
so as it's spinning, you don't want the cutter to come on top of the wood and run forward. So basically, if it's rotating this way, if you're going that way against the wood, it will just skip. You want the whatever direction you're going, and it depends on the orientation of the router. But you have to have that blade coming into the wood
So you
as it's scooping away. So a lot of people think I'll just run along and it'll just scoot along, but then it bounces as you try to go along because it's literally hitting the wood and bouncing away.
It's called
You need to come so that you're coming and attacking the wood this way. And that's why the straight bits or the spiralers are so much better, because a straight bit hits that grain smack on. Whereas a spiral bit will hit that grain on an angle. And it will shear the cut, and that's why you get a better cut. Whether it's this angle or that angle, it doesn't matter. It's a shear process. Right? But you have to attack the wood going in so that your router blade is coming into the wood and peeling away, rather than the other way. Otherwise, you'll find it'll just go like that, and you have nice little bumps, and it's uncontrolled.
So all routers turn the same way.
They do.
Same way, yeah.
So then you want to go from left to right then?
Yes,
Move left to right?
left to right.
From
That's what I see.
You're on the outside of the board.
push it right to
Now, if you're on the inside
Depends on
of something, it's the opposite. Like if you had a circle, and you did the outside, and there was a circle cut in the center, then you go right to
Go
left.
the other way, yeah.
Have you ever used your router for planing wood? Like
I have not, no. I was very interested in when Chris did that operation.
The shooter board
Shooter
flattening,
board, yeah.
They've got some nice bits now because they're very wide. Still a 1/2 inch shank, but they used to be 3/4 inch bit. Now you can get them at their 1.5 inch.
Yeah.
Again, you got to tone down your router speed because it's a bigger bit,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more weight that's fling around. But now they're more of a planing blade on top.
you can only go down so much at a time.
Only so much at a time.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it's like any bit attacking wood. You don't go in there full on because it's just going to be ugly, and you're not going to like it. You're better off taking it in stages and take your time. Let the bit do what it's supposed to do, and if it takes you 2 passes or 3 passes, so be it. But you'll end up with a better result.
Don, just a comment with regards to Jerry's question, with regards to using the router on the surface of a piece of wood. There's a man on YouTube, and I think his name is Knight, spelled the German, Austrian type way. And he has well, I'll find it.
Okay.
And he was featuring a machine the other night, a tubular kind of machine. And you can hook your router up to that on any point of the surface and do circles and lots of different things. And I went, after I watched that, I went on Amazon, and they were $132.
Okay.
But this guy just loved it and talked about the versatility of it. But I'll look for it, because I was just watching it a couple of nights ago. I don't know what the quality of it is, but I'll let you know.
Or John, send me the link and I'll send it out to everybody on the email that I send out to everyone.
Okay.
I'll send out the link.
One thing that I'd like to just remind you guys, one of the things that is paramount that you do is keep your collets in good shape. Keep them clean, make sure and get down in the center of that collet with, I would suggest triple or not triple, 4 times 0 steel wool, and you'll get a good grip. And you use the same thing on the shank of your bits, so you get a good grip. And when you finish routing a project, take the bit out and clean it off. And I'm sure there's many of you in here have left it in, And we go back 2 weeks later, and the thing, it's almost like the two of them are melded together.
I'm guilty.
A bunch of years ago, I bought a template bushing guide kit,
Yes?
and I don't think I paid much for it because I did for different size bushings here, I guess it would fit into the. Is that designed to have a different size cutting bit to go in there, or?
No, not necessarily. It's designed to do a job, and you could use a bigger bit, of course, but I'm just trying to think of how to explain it.
There's probably instructions in there that I've never gotten around to reading, but never
I've got the same set as you.
I have said it, yeah, and I use them all the time. Matter of fact,
If you want to make duplicates of that with the sign, you'll make a pattern, and you use one of these, follow the pattern, and it'll give you exact replicas of the sign.
I think I opened the box once.
Yeah.
There weren't instructions.
I had the same questions.
Okay, to read, so I
Throw that up on the screen.
show camera. Anyway, time's fleeting. I wanted to get lots of discussion, and it really helps. If you're planning on buying a rotor, make sure that you got lots of money. Maybe put it on Santa's list. You never know, you may get one under the Christmas tree. But when you're buying a router, it's really important to make sure that you know what you're buying, what you're buying it for, how you're going to use it, and you don't buy it online. You've got to take it in your hands. You've got to feel it. You've got to feel how heavy it is. You've got to touch the router to know where the hand grips are, and are they comfortable? Can you reach the different buttons without any difficulty? And you want to make sure that the router isn't half plastic. There's a lot more plastic in a lot of things these days, and I would really look for one that's really well made. Yeah. So,
Good.
thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay.